Today is Monday, October 20, 2014, the 293rd day of the year. There are 72 days remaining until the end of 2014. On this day in 1720, colorful Caribbean pirate Calico Jack is captured by the Royal Navy. Forbes magazine lists Calico Jack as the number 19 top-earning pirate. His worth equivalent to $1.6 million in captured treasure and hijacked sailing vessels. Born in England as John Rackham, his most active years as a working pirate, 1718 to 1720. As quartermaster with the notorious pirate Captain Charles Vane aboard the sloop Ranger. When Vane refuses to engage with a large French man-of-war, Rackham accuses Vane of cowardice and, together with a majority of the 90-man crew, deposes Vane and takes over the Ranger as captain, giving Vane and 15 loyal crewmen a smaller sloop, supplies, ammunition.
Well, he's generous that way.
That's right. Rackham's called Calico Jack because of the brightly hued India cotton fabric clothing he favors. And he's best known for admitting to his crew 2 women, Anne Bonny, young, Irish, tough as rusty nails, and later Mary Read, who is posing as a man. In 1719, the English King George I offers pardon to any pirate who turns himself in to the governor, Woodes Rogers. Rackham takes the offer and sails to Nassau. There he meets Anne Bonny of Kinsale, County Cork, Ireland, born Anne Cormac, called Annie. She's 19 years old. Her husband, having failed at piracy, is working for the governor in public relations. Well, actually, he's a snitch. From his years as a failed pirate, he's made quite a few valuable contacts. Rackham takes Anne Bonny as his lover, despite the legal fact of his matrimonial bond with James Bonny, who's mostly interested in Anne because he figures she's going to inherit her father's estate back in County Cork. When it turns out old man Cormac leaves the whole package to Anne's sister, she's furious, and the hapless loser James Bonny is stuck with her. Annie Bonny, fiery-tempered redhead, rumored at the age of 13 to have stabbed a servant girl with a table knife for some perceived insult or another, finds herself strangely attracted to Mary Read, who looks rather handsome with her fake mustache, fancy pantaloons, and big boots. And when the jealous Rackham threatens to kill Mary Read, she proves to him she's a woman. He forgives her, lets her stay on board because, let's just say, 2 heads are better than 1. James Bonny is not only not happy about losing the damn Cormac estate back in County Cork, he's also a little annoyed about his wife carrying on with Rackham. So he takes Anne Bonny to his pal, the governor, and demands legal punishment for her adultery, generally accepted to be a good sound public whipping. Rackham offers to buy her, the old tried and true divorce by purchase, but Anne Bonny says she won't be sold like a burlap sack full of New World potatoes, and takes the punishment. Then with Rackham and Mary Read, they hijack a ship, the aptly named Revenge, and escape. There goes that whole royal pardon deal. Rackham is captured on this day in 1720, and after a brief trial...
How brief?
Very brief. In November, he's executed at Port Royal, Jamaica, by hanging from the neck until he is dead. Then gibbeted, his body exhibited at a place now called Rackham's Cay, left hanging for the crows to feed upon to discourage piracy. Annie Bonny's last word to Rackham as he's being led away to be hanged are, "Sorry to see you there, but if you'd fought like a man, you would not have been hanged like a dog." Mary Read, the woman who favored men's clothing,
Well, more comfortable, right?
dies the following year from fever contracted giving birth to, presumably, Rackham's child. Anne Bonny, the fiery Irish redhead, outlives them all for another 60 years, dies of old age in 1782. On this day in 1944, liquid natural gas leaks from storage tanks in Cleveland, then explodes. The explosion and resulting fire level 30 city blocks, a 1 square mile area. 130 residents of Cleveland's Eastside neighborhood are killed.
Safe, clean, dependable natural gas.
Cleveland, man.
Anything can happen.
The explosion has been estimated as the equivalent of 1/6 of the atomic bomb that destroyed Hiroshima, and Cuyahoga County Coroner Dr. Samuel Gerber says the magnitude of the fire and the intense temperatures generated have the power to vaporize human flesh and bone, making an exact count of the taken impossible until weeks after the disaster, if ever. American author, critic, and playwright William Dean Howells writes, "How strange the disaster must have seemed to them here where they lived so safely always. They thought such a dreadful thing could happen to others, but not to them. That's always the way." From Rutland, Vermont, this is Richard Alcott speaking.